Kia ora koutou and welcome back to NZ Clever Home. Hey, guess what, New Zealand? iOS 13 has finally arrived on our shores and is now available across multiple platforms. Now, with the first release of iOS 13, there were some glitches and there was, of course, that security error, but now it's been updated to iOS 13.1.2 and it is good to go and safe to download. So if you haven't already, go to your settings, go to software update and upload to the latest iOS 13. So about a week after iOS 13 was released, we saw the release of iPad OS, which is a slightly separate operating system for the iPad. It's still iOS, but it's called iPad OS and just has a bit more grunt, I guess, for the iPad. And then about another week later, we saw the release of Watch OS 6, which is the latest Watch OS. That is now available. I think we're also at Watch OS 6.1, maybe, or maybe still at 6. I can't remember. And then about a week later after that, we saw the release of tvOS. So that's now been updated to iOS 13.1.2 also, which is great news for HomeKit users because your home, for most people, your Apple TV is your home hub, and that means smart TV functionality. Whether you've got a native HomeKit smart TV or whether you're like me and you use a third-party scenario, that is now all working tickety-boo. And today saw the release of Mac OS X Catalina. So that is a whole host of updates across the board. All we're waiting for now is the release of HomePod OS. Currently that's still running 12.4, which is a bit of a bummer because if you are, like me, a HomeKit user, you can't use HomePod to turn on and off your TV because of course that's only a iOS 13 function. But no doubt it's just around the corner. Hey, I'm recording this video on my brand new iPhone 11 Pro. I'm loving it so far. I decided to go with the smaller version rather than the Max version just because, you know, I like a cell phone to be a cell phone size. I was tempted to get the 11, but I went with the Pro instead. Hey, if you have any questions about iOS 13 or tvOS or watchOS or OS X Catalina or even the iPhone 11 Pro, flick me an email at nzcleverhome@gmail.com or put a comment on my Instagram page. Have a great day. Ka kite anō.